All right. Well, happy Friday and welcome to What's Going On. I am your host today, Jen Cares. And today we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to check in with some amazing guests that we've had. And I am so excited as today we welcome Miss Rita.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm doing great. No
Awesome.
complaints.
Awesome.
Doing great.
Yes. Now, Miss Rita, for those that don't know who you are, can you share who is Miss Rita?
I'm Bad Girl Read 504.
I love it. I love it. So what has been your highlights for 2024?
Ooh, my highlights in 2024 has been amazing.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity, my man and I, to go on a Jennifer Hudson show, and we had a lot of fun. It was amazing. I love the happy place.
Yes. And
Also, we had the opportunity to be blessed on the Essence panel. I had an amazing time, met amazing people. I mean, just a blessing, a real blessing. And even to be in their magazine and to get to know the people that was
mhm,
there, that was amazing. It was just
yes.
amazing. And
Yes.
look, um, also with you all, SWAGHer magazine,
Mhm.
I love y'all.
We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I've just been doing a little bit of everything,
Hmm.
a little bit of everything, and I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm excited because of the lingerie line that I started, and I'm just excited.
Yes. So
Just
let's talk
excited.
about this. Because when the year started, did you ever imagine that you'd be with Essence, that you would be with Jennifer Hudson? How did that come? How are your feelings when it did happen?
I would say, you know how some people say everything is God.
Hmm.
Well, everything is God because when I started, I had no clue of how things was going to go, what was going to happen. I was just being me, being
Hmm.
authentic, just being
Hmm.
who I am, talking about my man, never knowing that the videos would go viral. I would
Yes.
crack myself up at my own videos because that's really my personality. But I
Yes.
never like imagined in my mind or my thoughts, oh, girl, you're gonna be on the Jennifer Hudson show, or girl, you're gonna be, in this magazine or that, or I just never imagined that. So
Mhm.
for me, it's such a blessing. It's really a blessing for me. And it was
Yes.
such an experience. Oh, and
Mhm.
such a joy and very, very pleasurable.
I love it. I love it. I like the part of you saying that you were just being you. You just sharing about your man. And I know that you have inspired so many that have seen your videos of like, it can be grand, it can be lovely, it can be blissful. I mean, life happens in it, but
Right.
there's also some good times. We want to highlight those good times.
All the time. All the time. Because even when you go through the bad times can outdo the good times.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Oh,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that has been 2024. What do you feel like is coming for 2025 for you?
Um, well, what I'm doing for 2025, I have brought up another notch, meaning I have selected some really, really nice lingerie pieces, right?
Okay.
For the single women, the
Okay.
women in waiting, the
Mhm.
married women. Look, we stepping it up.
Okay. Yes.
We stepping it up another notch. And I am so excited about this because I love lingerie. I just love
Yeah.
it. I can wear it like out in whatever at any
Mhm.
time. So that's what I'm doing. That's for 2025. Also, too, we're starting a new podcast.
Yes.
Yes, it's called the Kitty Wiggle Collection Podcast. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for the world to see who we really, really are.
Yes. I like it. I like it. So let's go to this lingerie for a second. I like that you say you kind of wear it whenever. Yes, wear it whenever. Because one, we never know when the moment calls for it, but also just gives you a little confidence boost too. When you have a little something on, you feel good about yourself. You looking good,
Yes.
feeling good. And I like that you have it for the single, for those in waiting, for those that are married. And why do you feel it's important for us to have this together? I know, sometimes we just throw on a bra and throw on a set and we feel like we are right. But it's also important that I pull it together sometimes. Why do you feel like it's important? What made you start this business?
I started because I was ill, some year, way long time ago, and with diagnosed with endometriosis. And so during that, before that time, you know, that's all I did. We like 7 days a week stuff. You know what I'm saying? And my man always bought me really nice lingerie. And so I got sick, you know, and he still would have it laid out for me or put it on me because I was just sick to death. And I still wanted to feel alive. And many times I didn't feel alive. You know, many times I couldn't even stand to touch the sheets in the bedroom. So when he would put me on my silk lingerie, my lace, I'm telling you, it just would bring out the flavor in me. You know,
Yes,
although I was
yes.
down and out, but it still did something for me. It was very comforting for me. And it
Mm.
still was sexy for me because you know, I'm this person. I don't care if I'm 90. I'm still gonna be sexy. If I'm still living at 90, that's just the way that I feel.
Yes,
So
yes,
that with that happening to me, this was my thought as I was laying down. I say, I want to sell lingerie. So if any woman go through any sickness or anything,
mm,
you know what? That enhances, it can enhance you some type of way because it did me. It
yes,
made me feel
yes,
alive when I was at death's door, you know,
yes,
feeling like I can't do nothing and I couldn't, you know. So it just really enhanced me. It made me feel more sexy, although I
yes.
couldn't perform at that time
Mhm.
because of the illness. So
Yes,
I love lingerie and I love selling it to people because I want them to feel what I felt.
yes,
That part right there. I want them to feel alive, you know, feel vibrant. Although you're
mhm,
down, but you're
mhm.
not dead yet. You're
Yes.
not unalive yet. So that's my thing about it.
I loved it. I still wanted to feel alive. And the fact that he did those things to make sure that you recovered because he knew you and
Yes,
knew what would bring you some joy in that moment. Still
yes,
wanted to feel alive. This is
yes,
amazing. I like this because again, when you're going through, you have to find what's going to still encourage you to keep on going so that you
that's
don't
it.
give up.
That's it. That part.
Mm,
That part.
that's good. That's good. What I want to stay here for a second because we have, some couples that are listening, some that are single,
Hmm.
about to be in a relationship and things of that sort. And I want them to go to your, platform to be able to follow you. But in this moment here, what is some words of encouragement to those when it does get hard or when it is like a little stagnation and you're still trying to feel alive and keep it alive? What's some words of wisdom you would give us?
My first word of wisdom is prayer, and it's always going to be there.
Yes.
My second word of wisdom is, you know, just keep journaling, keep dreaming, keep believing, keep being authentic. You
Yeah.
know, even when you're going through those rough times, journal.
Hmm.
Even when
Hmm.
you're going through those rough times. And then when you come out of that rough time, you can go back to that journal. See, your journal can be your roadmap. Your journal can be your lesson even when you're down and out. And that's what I did. I still journal. And I still, even though, you know, I've been married since I was 19, I still knew even in that what I still wanted. And I tell young ladies, journal, write down what you want. Don't settle for what you don't want to.
Mm.
You know, don't settle for the little when you can have the gusto. Because if
Yes.
I had settled for the little, I would have never got the gusto. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
don't settle for that and build on yourself. Build on the
Mm.
single women, build on yourself, even being married with children. We still have to build on ourselves. We
Hmm.
still
Hmm.
have to take care of ourselves, self love us, self
Yeah.
care. We have to do all of that. Although and I had three children, three, you know, children, and they're three adults now. But I still loved on myself. I loved on my marriage. I
Hmm.
still adorn myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I always
Yes.
kept myself up to pour and
Yes.
still do. You know,
I
so
love
it's
it.
very important that you love on you
Mm.
because see, you got to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
even with lingerie, you get you some selected pieces and
Hmm.
take care of yourself. If you're not married yet, you put some in your box. So do it for yourself. You know,
Yes.
I have a daughter that's 39, and I that's what I did with her when
Hmm.
she was younger. She's still single, but she still have her box with her
Yeah.
lingerie because she's always, you know, working on herself and improving herself, improve themselves in education. It's
Yeah.
always something that we should do positive for ourselves
I love
that
it.
can radiate, other women,
Yes.
that feel like, that need that boost, you
Hmm.
know, and that's what I love about my lingerie. That's what I love
Yes.
about my brand. Period.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, sis. LeVon said, get that box. We got to get our boxes together, ladies, so you can be ready. Because if you don't have it now, when they come along, you're not ready. You want to be prepared.
You want to be prepared. Yes, you do.
And this was a shameless plug because you have a book. You and your husband, Mr. Theodore, wrote this book, Love Can't Wait: How to Find and Keep Love Alive. So, friends, as you get your box, get
Get
your
your book.
book
Get your book.
so you know how to
Yes.
keep it alive.
Get your book. I tell you, when my man and I did our book, it was just such a blessing because
Yeah.
we did things together and stuff like that, and just
Mhm.
talking about it. And let me tell you, it brings back a lot of stuff that we had forgotten because we've been married 43 plus years, you
Ooh.
know. And so it
Ooh.
just it brought back things to our remembrance, but we would never forget going back to the basis of how we was dating, the
Yeah.
stuff that need to be going on today. And I
Yeah.
tell women this: you teach a man how to date you.
Mm.
Don't let them teach you how you want to, how they want to date you.
I hear you. Yes. Yes. Ah.
No, no, don't look. No, don't do it like that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I didn't ask this, but I do want to share this because we talked about the lingerie line, Kitty Wiggle.
Hmm.
Now, how did you come up with that name, Miss Rita?
I don't know. It just stuff just come to you at that time.
Yes,
And
I
I
love
have
it.
a best friend. My best friend, my other best friend is my daughter. We are
Okay.
like two peas in the. I mean, we are so close, and so we just sit around and stuff. And at the time, she was selling a product, and I told her this. I said, "Girl, I said, girl, that stuff made my kitty wiggle." And
Yes. I love it.
that's how I came up with the name.
I love it. I love it. Friends, friends, we got to head over to support this good merchandise over here at Kitty Wiggle Collection.com.
Yes,
You got a trouble starter safety vest over there. I said, now, Miss Rita is doing the thing. Safety at all times. Safety
yeah,
at
you
all
got to,
times.
cause look, my husband be pulling me this way, pulling me that way. It is
Yes.
fun to me. So I said, you know what? I'm getting these safety vests.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
But he
Oh,
caught me off guard.
yes. Safety first, friends. Y'all go over there and check out Kitty Wiggle collection, okay? They even had the morning after intimacy shirt. I said, yes, they got it together over there.
Let me tell you, that is the best thing, the morning after.
Yes.
And so that's how we came with that name, the morning after. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And again, I appreciate you stepping out, you and Mr. Theodore stepping out to share your story, to encourage others as
Hmm.
they go through the journey of relationships and things again, because again, they get discouraged or maybe they don't have positive role models to see, right? But as you
Right.
put out your
Absolutely.
content, there's no matter, no age, there's no barriers on it. Y'all get that safety vest if y'all need it. But you can have fun, you can have love, and how you guys are always smiling. You can see that the love is just coming through the screen of how love can be amazing.
It is. It can be, and it is.
Yes, yes. May her
It
kitty
is.
wiggle. Yo, today has been great. Friends, y'all go over to uh, bookbaby.com to get Love Can't Wait. Again, you can search it, Rita Smith and Theodore Smith Sr. I'm so, so, so excited again for all the things that you guys are doing. What advice would you give to some upcoming entrepreneurs? Because like, as you stay consistent with like posting your content, it has blown your mind of how the doors have opened. What motivation would you give to some up and coming entrepreneurs?
Just be authentic. Always be authentic and consistent.
Mhm.
Consistency, that's the thing. That is
Yeah.
the part, to be consistent. And know what you want.
Mhm.
Just know what you want. And whatever you do want, you go for it. Don't let nobody, tell you what you can't do
Yeah.
and who you can't be. Because I never thought in my life, never in my life, that this would happen in my life.
Yes.
Never. Because I've been a homemaker,
Mhm.
all my life, just about, raising kids and things like that,
Uh-huh.
enjoying it at the same time. But I
Yeah.
would tell somebody, purpose, know your purpose and just do it. Just go for it. If you have a dream, just do it. Walk it out. If you have a vision, just pray over it. Walk it out.
Mhm.
And let the Lord do the rest.
That's it. I like it. Because that's important because, like, we'll have a dream and we think it's just going to magically happen. But we have to do our
Hmm.
part, right? So as you're being
Right.
consistent, posting that content, as you're being consistent, engaging with the people, when you feel like it don't feel like it, right?
Right.
It comes together
Absolutely.
because then God breathes on it. I like it.
Absolutely.
Very nice, very nice. So yes, 2024 has been amazing. 2025 is going to be amazing. Y'all get your kitty wiggle. You get your love can't wait. Um, and then SWAGHer magazine. We have been so honored to be able to work with you, Ms. Rita. What has been your experience like with working with us?
You, you know what? First of all, I appreciate you all because y'all have given me the boldness, more boldness
Mm-hmm,
to just come out more.
mm-hmm,
Really. I watch you all's platform a lot, and every story is inspiring. Every story. So
mm-hmm.
y'all have inspired me in ways that y'all don't even know. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that y'all even give me an opportunity
Yeah,
to talk about my brand, to for the world, so it could be showcased that it can help someone and
yeah,
inspire someone else.
yeah.
And I just love working with y'all. I really do. I
Oh, and
really
we
do.
love working with you.
Thank you
We
so
are
much.
inspired by what you post. Again, it's an honor. It's really important to glean from those that have walked the path before us or have walked the road ahead of us, so they can share with us so that we don't make mistakes. Or if we do, we
Mhm.
could see that we could get back up again. So I am just so thrilled and honored again to have been able to share with you on today, for you to share with us on today and every day. And as our time is coming to a close, what are some things that you want us to walk away with as we prepare for 2025?
To believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Believe in yourself. Walk the walk, not just the talk.
I love it. I love
Keep
it.
your journal. Keep your journal and follow it. Your journal could be your road path,
I love it.
and it can inspire others. And stay on that path. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, because the moment you get negativity, you won't do it.
I like it. I like that. And that part of believing in yourself, that means we also can't tell ourselves what we can't do.
Yes,
We
yes,
got to believe that it's possible.
yes. We
I
really
love it.
do. We
I love
really
it.
do
I love
have to
it.
do that.
Oh, I thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Rita. I hope that you have an amazing holiday season with your family. Please keep on doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. It's so good to see what it is that you're doing. And thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Ah, friends, I hope that you enjoyed the amazingness of Miss Rita Smith. Y'all be sure, let me put her Instagram up here so you can go and follow. Where did it go? Where did it go? Bad Girl Riri 504. She's doing some amazing things. You want to check her out. Again, go and visit her lingerie site, Kitty Wiggle. Go and get her book, Love Can't Wait, How to Find and keep love alive, because sometimes it tries to die and we don't want that to happen. So friends, be sure to share this. We got 2 more amazing interviews coming up and we're going to keep it rolling. Are you ready? I hear you saying yes. All right, let me get her. Let me get her. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, how are you? You're on mute.
There we go. I fixed it.
Yes. Oh, hello. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I am so excited. Today has really just brightened up my day, just being able to check in with some amazing guests that we've had to find out what's going on, how things have been going, to be able to encourage somebody else and let people
Yeah.
know that it's not too late. I know it's the 20th, but it's still not too late. So
Right.
if you could, how are you doing today? Did I ask that? I'm so excited. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'm feeling festive, so I'm doing amazing.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Now to our viewers, can you share who is actor Cherrie McRae?
Hello, all that are watching today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Cherrie McRae. I'm a TV and film actor. I'm also a writer, director, and mentor and coach, as well as a speaker.
Yes, yes. Now, being an actor, how did that come about?
Many moons ago, I initially started out by happenstance. During college, I joined a cast of a urban drama. It was extremely bootleg, but it had a big following nonetheless. And
Mhm.
so that was my first interaction with some sort of acting. And then I swayed away, kind of went on about the corporate world for maybe close to a decade. And then I returned back to, just the industry, the artistry, creativity. And
Mhm.
once I did that, I began to take it a little bit more serious, taking my classes, joining
Mhm.
network groups, connecting, and, starting to book the work.
I love it. I love it. And I ask because there's some people that want to do something like they might have did it and it might have been small or bootleg when it first started, but then it came back around. I was like, oh, I really like this. And when you put yourself into it, it's now opened so many doors for you, right? Some that you
It
expected,
has.
didn't expect. And I'm just so, so, so excited for the doors that have opened.
Yeah.
So in that, what would you say were your highlights of 2024 as it relates to you being in the arts?
Um, I had quite a few highlights. This year brought about a lot of major things that has not happened in the past. So as I've been able to build my brand and build my career path, I started getting, bigger roles, and those bigger roles led to box office films. And so, um, two major things are red carpet events or world premieres for two films.
Mhm.
One showcased in Austin, Texas, and the other one showcased in LA. So, very proud of those films. Looking forward to way more. But as far as 2024 was an explosive year for me. So, just quite a few things I added. I'm also a person that has created a brand, um, pretty much an apparel brand called Inspire Attire. And so, along with clothing, I've also added hats, and it's just motivational messages on hats. So I've added that. I actually wrote, executive produced, and directed two short films of mine. One was a comedy and one was a drama. So put that on its feet, put it on film, and those will be showcased next year. And man, just continuing to audition. Booked two other films as well, two dramas which I had to travel out of state to shoot. So all the things that are kind of coming around the bend. Harvest is definitely. All of those things are pretty much starting to bud in this season, and so I have been exceptionally blessed this year.
Yes, yes, I love this. We just had Miss Rita. She was sharing about the part of consistency, right? And you
Yeah.
share how bigger roles came, some box office opportunities, some red carpet opportunities, and that consistency has
Yeah.
really paid off. And I hope that those are tuned in are hearing the importance of consistency, not giving up on ourselves, believing in
Yeah.
ourselves, and just hoping and wishing and like it's going to work. Believing that that's going to happen. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for the films that you have coming in 2025, and we'll talk a little bit more for 2025. But we're also just highlighting this year. I'm really excited. Hats off to you. Thank you for what you have been doing to
Yeah.
support and contribute to the arts world as well.
Yes. Yes.
So
Thank
awesome, so
you.
awesome. And it goes in line with you have a book.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Success
I
Memoirs.
um
How's
I
it? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I actually have written. I've written, and um they're just kind of floating around in the ether now. But my original three-part series book was for entrepreneurs, which was
Okay.
Success Memoirs, and that actually has been very successful. For those who it's for, because I don't write for others, I write for myself. And then
Mhm.
based on the spirit of what I need, I
Yes.
share with those who it may help. But it's a three-part series called Success Memoirs, and it just kind of gives hope and it kind of gives some action steps for entrepreneurs who felt stuck. That's kind
Mhm.
of been in progress. That's something that has already been written, sold, several times over for about roughly 4.5 to 5 years. My
Mhm.
most latest audio book is called So You Want to Be an Actor, and that is, again, that's completed. And that's primarily for those actors who are aspiring, the actors who kind of got out of the game, and
Yeah.
just a little bit, of my story. They kind of got out of the game, and now they're returning, and it just feels like, a plethora of things that have changed. Like, where in
Mhm.
the world
Mhm.
do I start in all this muck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the third audience that I wrote it for was parents of child actors who are possibly confused about, the ebbs and flow of this industry. And
Mhm.
so you want to be an actor. It's a 12-step, easy to follow audiobook. And if you
Good.
listen to those steps, I can't say anything is a guarantee in life, but if you listen to those steps, those are tried and true.
Mhm.
They've been put through the fire because, again, your girl was all of those things at one
Yeah.
point in my lifespan as an actor. So that's out there now. So you want to be an actor. And so many people were in my DMs and in my inbox. And when I go places, they're like, how do you do this? And how do you? And I say, you know what? Let me just have a resource. You
Yes.
guys buy it, it's inexpensive. I'm not trying to break anyone's pockets, but nonetheless, if you follow those steps,
Mhm.
then it'll put you on the
Mhm.
right path.
I like it. I like it. Because one of the questions is always like, what words of wisdom will you give to others that are trying to go on your footsteps? You purchase the books, friends. Everything that you need. And it's so dope because the blessing of a book is this, right? You have it, you can read it. If you forget anything, you can go back to it. Sometimes you can't get to the person, right? But you had a book you could highlight, you could underline things of that sort. So I know Christmas is in a couple of days. No gift is ever too late, too early. So do,
Yeah,
check out that book. Maybe again, I'm going to share
yeah,
the link tree where you can get it. I'm sure it's on the link there because as you get the
yeah,
book, you know some people that are trying to get into the acting world or trying to get into the producing
yeah.
world. Tell them to get this book. You know,
Yes.
get the inside scoop. How she went from the small to the big and continuing to blow up. Okay, okay.
Right,
You got to learn
right.
from the experts. Don't get it from me because I haven't walked that shoe. She's walked that shoe. Okay, she knows that shoe, knows how to clean it off and things. So
Yeah,
again, you want to be able to support that and get that. So that's pretty dope. Thank you for taking the moment
no
to
problem.
jot down your experience because it does help somebody who may not ever get to, have that one-on-one with you, may not ever get to see you, but see you on the screen
Yeah,
like, I wonder how she got there. She wrote a book, friends. Go ahead and check it out because it's going to help
I
you.
love it.
I love it. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. So in that, so we're talking about 2024. We have some things that are coming out in 2025. Are there any other things you're working on that we should keep our eye out for 2025 for you?
Yes. Speaking of those blockbusters, I have one more that was filmed a few years ago, but it has a world premiere that there's I would say another red carpet premiere for a movie entitled My Dead Friend Zoe. And it has pretty much star-studded, but I'm so excited to be a part of it. It has a world premiere on February the 28th in Los
Okay.
Angeles. I'm not sure of what the platform will be, but I know it'll be in select theaters then.
Yeah.
And whatever streaming services, just continue to follow my journey, and I'll go ahead and place it there. And I actually wrote a medical drama, a pilot for a medical drama.
Nice.
Got it on its feet. It is in pre-production right now. I wrote and executive producing the project. Also casting myself as the lead. But
Nice.
it's similar to, it's if I don't know if you all remember the medical series House and then
Mhm.
Grey's Anatomy. Just
Yes.
imagine that they had a love child. So that's what this particular pilot
Yeah.
would be. I'm very proud of that. We're going to get it on its feet the first quarter. And so I'm
Yeah.
excited about that, casting and doing all the things. And definitely, just again, there's some things that are in the pipeline because, of course, you audition and you have some things that are, kind of coming up, some interest from casting about certain projects. So I'm excited about that. And I also wanted to share just this is uh, my apparel line. I've added the hats or the caps,
Yeah.
which is pretty much it says UOU. Very,
Mm.
very basic. So this is
Yeah.
another thing I'm excited about because I always tell people you don't need permission to do anything. You owe it to yourself, and that's it. So,
Mm.
yeah. So that's the final thing that I'm just trying to kind of get things going for the top portion of 2025.
You just got me with that one. I owe me.
Yes,
Because we can't give up on
you owe
ourselves.
you.
And we will doubt and we can't. We owe ourselves to be happy. We owe ourselves to try. Because what's the harm in
Right.
trying? Either it works out or it doesn't, or we try and work it again. And then we find a lane that
Right.
we should be on. I
Right.
owe me.
Exactly.
I love it. Friends, we want to support good things. Just some good things that are happening. I do have a question for you. In all of the productions that you have done, what do you think has been your favorite? Or do you have a favorite?
I love period pieces. So
Oh,
anything that has nostalgia attached. I
mhm,
love um, anything from the BMF to even with appearing on Kindred, recurring on
mhm.
Kindred, which
Yeah.
was showing on Hulu. I just
Mhm,
love period pieces. I love just being able to tap into a space perhaps
mhm,
that
mhm.
I physically wasn't there, but the ancestors are allowing me to push forward and just
Yeah.
to know either one, if it's
Mhm,
if it's something similar to me being a part of Kindred, just knowing that, what enslaved people had to endure, or
mhm.
something like the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. It's just the
Yeah.
big boombox, radios, and just like, man, I wish you could dress like this again without looking crazy.
Yeah.
But just the music, the culture, the vibe, the essence, just everyone coming together as a Black
Mhm.
community. Just can we revisit those times? And so I definitely love going back in time. So those would probably be, those era pieces would be my absolute fave.
Awesome. I had a friend, she wanted to do a book club and we were doing Kindred. I ain't gonna hold you. I was excited when the show came out. I was able to just watch it. So go here, Sabrina. Such a good, such a good
Yes,
series. Yes, I love this. Again, I'm so, so, so excited for the pieces that you have coming. You too continue to keep believing in yourself because you owe you. That little kid that said, I wanted to do it and now seeing how it's going. I am so excited
right.
as you continue and continue to go forth in its path because it's helping, others that are looking up to see, like, wait, this is pretty cool. When people see from the area, oh, I know her, I grew up with her, whatever, things that sort, they also get inspired to know that they could possibly do it too. So from being an author to being the actor to being the producer to being the writer and creator of a new thing coming, and the
Yeah,
apparel, so 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 dope of making sure that you're trying to reach everybody that you can in different ways because maybe they won't see the show, but they'll see the apparel. Maybe they won't see the apparel,
yeah,
but they'll see the book, and it may encourage them
yes,
as well.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. So another question I have for you: what has your experience been like with working with us at SWAGHer? Shameless plug. We're just trying to find out, if we're doing a good job. It's the end of the year. We want to do a little evaluation. Are we doing good? What can we do better?
um, my interactions with Swagger has you all have always provided, the gold standard, and every interaction has been very upscale. I especially like how you all are able to give a plethora of information. Whether it is a small, startup business or someone that has been in the game for many, many years. You do not negate from giving the community exactly the resources that either they don't know that they need or hey, let's enlighten you know for us, by us, and
Mhm,
I just love that. I always felt that my interactions, my stories, the features that I'm given the opportunities to share the platform, you all
mhm,
are able to share your platform with me. It's always been top tier, and I just love again how you serve the African American community. You never scale back, even if it's things or advice columns or things that we normally don't want to hear. I love how entrepreneurs are not, what is it, say, gatekeeping? Like they give us
mhm, mhm,
all the, you know, what are the things that perhaps your rags to riches stories, or what are some things that I can do for my children, for my families,
mhm,
for my business? I feel stuck. It's just your Q&As are always definitely, like I said, top tier, and I really appreciate my interactions with you. Every communication is professional, is elite, And I just want to continue to thank you all for being the brand that you are, because there has been a void with publications for quite some time. And you have, the hierarchies at the tops, but what about the ones in the middle that are reaching people right next door? And so, or right in our backyard? So I just, again, I just give you all your flowers.
Yes. Oh, thank you. And again, we return those flowers right back to you because it's because of those like you that helps us to be able to share those stories, and put them on the spotlight. We are excited to share what's going on in our community, to uplift what's going on in our community, and to just encourage somebody else to know that they can make it, and to let them know that we see them and we're proud of what it is that you're doing. So thank you so, so, so very much. Uh, as our time, dwindles down, I don't want to hold you too much because I know you got the things to do. What are
Yeah,
some
you're
things that
fine.
you? Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Let me add another one. But one of the questions is, and I add a couple more. Thank you so much. What are some words of wisdom that as this year comes to the end? What are some words of wisdom that you would give to those that are tuned in related to anything of life? As you span over 2024, what words of wisdom would you give to us to encourage us to keep going?
Well, for one, anyone that has attempted or on the path to do anything, I'm just, again, just wanted to give all the congratulations in advance, because I'm not going to say it's hard, but I will say that it will definitely, through trial and error, it's very challenging, and it will test you. It will test your spirit. It will test your will to continue to move forward. The one thing that I'm realizing is you may go several seasons when nobody roots for you. And
Mhm.
I just want to tell anyone out there, it doesn't matter who's rooting for you, you root for you.
Yeah.
Because again, your success is not predicated on how someone feels about what it is that you're doing and how you're going about doing it. Um, Even if you're not getting the accolades, you're not getting the applause, you look to your
Mhm.
right and your left and you see your neighbors are, that has nothing, no bearing on you. You have to continue on your path, your journey, build your own house, go ahead and lay your own bricks. Run your own lane, even if you don't see the finish line, because you will eventually see it. And so I
Mhm.
just want to continue to motivate someone out there. Sometimes success won't be everyone else's success until they see you believe in you. Once they see you believe in you, then they kind of jump on the bandwagon. But even if they don't do that, just know that each and every day that you close out your day, you have to look at yourself and say that I operate in a spirit of excellence. If you operate in a spirit of excellence, just know that it's just a matter of time before you yourself will only define the success that you deem yourself to have once you even started. You have to commit to a strong why. So identify, why did you even start to begin with? And once
Mhm.
you identify that why, then you continue to lead down the path of your professionalism, your career journey, the humanity of others, societal contributions. Make sure all those are in effect, because if you're just doing it for selfish means, then you're not doing it. You might as well just stop doing it, right? We all should be each one teach one, and in some, ultimately, you will receive some type of maybe capital gain. But all in all, when it comes to that heart posture, just make sure that you're operating and you're doing everything that you need to do, and that blood is flowing from the right vein, and ultimately you'll get there. You'll get to that finish line, and again, it's a journey. It's not a destination. So no matter what happens, you got to keep going.
You know, I thought I had another question, but you just gathered us all together with that. Um, Thank you. You know,
You're very well.
because we do have to identify why, and even if they don't believe, we gotta still believe. A lot
Hmm.
of people have given up because somebody else didn't believe. It wasn't for them to
Yeah.
believe. That was your dream. That was your goal. That was your assignment. Build your
Right.
own house. Yeah. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all go over there and check out the amazingness that the actor, the producer, the writer, the author, the apparel line is doing. Okay, I thought I hit it. So here, that's our link tree. If you have an iPhone, you can screenshot it, and then you can save it on your pictures, and then you can copy the link to put it right in and find out all the amazing things that's coming up for 2025. You can see the history because again, she got receipts of what she know what she doing. Okay, this is really really dope. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your words. Thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for owing yourself enough to do what it is that you're doing. We really appreciate all that you're doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you again so much. May you
Um,
have a great one. Happy holidays.
all right. Happy holidays, you guys. Stay safe and enjoy.
Yes. Oh man, friends, today has really been good. This has been a good Friday of how we're ending out, just sharing some amazingness that's going on. And I'm gonna get right into our next guest, Miss Jamie Watkins. Help me welcome her to the stage.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I am well. It is good to see your beautiful face.
Same here. I am so excited. This day, sometimes I get to do these interviews. I'm really, really grateful, but I'm
Mhm,
also excited for how I get encouraged from hearing the different stories. And sometimes you got to hear something again to be encouraged to keep on going.
mhm, mhm.
So Miss Rita done got me. The actor Cherrie McRae just got me. I'm already ready for you to get me for the stolen love to help us be the best versions of ourselves. So, first and foremost, can you tell us who is Jamie Watkins?
I am, oh wow, well, that's loaded, but as it pertains to what I do, I am the founder of My Piece of Happy,
Yeah.
which is a brand that empowers well-being and purpose in the lives of us on our assignments, our everyday assignments. And so I'm also a writing coach. I'm a keynote speaker. I facilitate workshops all around well-being and purpose. And I am so excited to be back in this space with you.
Yes, and it's funny because I feel like I interviewed you earlier this year.
Yes, yes.
Yay! So, my first question is, how would you recap 2024? What were your highlights?
Well, my word of the year for 2024 was alignment.
Yeah.
And so I definitely feel like I am better aligned with what it is that I'm on assignment to do, which shifts and changes. God, I'm like, okay, God, I'm going with the flow. I kicked off the beginning of the year with my courses. I will have my license in ministry in September 2026. So still underway, but it is it's moving along. It's not as intense as I thought it would be. I was kind of like, are you sure? Like what? But he has been gracious every step of the way. And I had two authors kick out their books in 2024. So shout out to Annette Ortiz
Yeah.
and Jennifer Brown. I have several panels, so I want to shout out Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania. I got to speak at their Women's Summit, panels for the Galentine's event, Women in Wellness Summit. Shout out to Ayana Anderson. So many things. Ignite Conference, Reverend Nikki Brown spoke at that. Just a lot. It was a lot, but a lot.
Yeah.
So not overwhelming, just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so that always feels good. And I have four children in college now. My youngest went to Syracuse, is in Syracuse. He's home now. But so looking forward to wrapping up the year with all the children home. Well, I say children, they're all they're all young adults now. But
Oh,
everybody under the one roof again and celebrating Christ our Savior. So yes, very excited for
very
2024.
nice. Very, very nice. Out of all the things that all amazing, congratulations. What
Thank
do
you.
you think was your highlight of like, I'm in the right field, I'm in the right lane, I am aligned. I know for sure because this has happened.
And we also moved.
Oh,
So that was that was intense. Okay. My highlight, I would say stepping. I am a writing coach. I don't even think I mentioned that. Well, I said the
mhm,
authors, right? So for 2025, and I know we'll get there, but I have two authors coming up and three authors, but one's a
mhm,
couple. And that was, I would say, the highlight because initially I was saying, putting myself in a box. I was like, I only work with women. And so at a women's conference I was at my church, Greater Shiloh, and someone came up and she's like, "Oh, my husband really has this book he needs to write, about his addiction." And I was like, "Oh, I only work with women." And she just stood there. It was this like awkward, like looking at me.
mhm, mhm,
And I was like, you know what? Okay, this is what we'll do. The Holy Spirit was just like we're not gonna, we're like, who said that? Right?
mhm,
And I said, I will consider writing it with the both of you. Help it when I don't write, but I coach them. Working with the both of you to write it, and immediately, like, it was like, oh wow, like we could just see it. we just started like right off like how impactful that would be because you
Mhm.
had your own experience with that, right,
Yeah.
as a couple. And so it's just been beautiful how everything aligned back to alignment, and they are now in publishing. Just seeing that like effortlessly just flow. I'm here to assist and serve. They do the hard work, right? They
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
story. But just that alignment and saying, okay, Holy Spirit, like I'm just gonna trust your guidance and stop trying to help so much, right? And like I said, say what I'm doing when you're like, not really. So
Uh-huh.
that alignment really helped to like, okay, just trust the journey and stop
Mhm.
trying to put your 2 cents in. Um,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Go where God is leading you.
I like this because you said your word was alignment, right?
Yes.
And alignment is like a straight line, things of that sort. But you say you initially put yourself in a box.
Mhm.
And though it is a straight line that got corners, what happens is you get stuck in that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the alignment allows you to free those corners so it can go forward.
Yes.
I'm so excited that you opened up to that, to be able to open up a new world of
Yeah.
those that you can work to assist, because everybody got a story in them,
That's right.
And how amazing is it that in that awkward moment, it still worked out to be
Hmm.
able to share what you needed to share, and they can now share their story.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing,
And it's
amazing.
going
I'm
to be
excited for what's
so,
to come with that.
I'm so excited for it. And I just think like, had I been stuck in my head,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
know it was planned, but yeah, that would be the highlight, I think.
I thank you for your transparency in that too, because sometimes we do get stuck in our heads, right?
Mhm.
And with it being the end of 2024, we're like, oh, it didn't work out, or I was overthinking, I'm overstressing, I'm this anxiety and everything else in between,
Yes.
right? But how you got out of it. Talk about that. How did you get out of that box?
Really being attentive to the Holy Spirit, just like, and we laugh about it now, my client and I, that she just stood there. She's, because I was like, you created this space where it's like, I'm not taking that answer.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to say. She said, because I just felt led, like, no, you're
Yes.
going to help me with this.
And that's dope
And
too, because you
so,
know how God uses people, right? So she
yes,
came on and was like, I know God put you on my heart. So that was the wrong answer. Let me wait a second. So you were like
right. Let
process
me
your
just,
process.
yes. And as he's ministering, now I could have, again, this is how we have to be mindful. And mindfulness is a part of well-being and wellness, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mindful to move out of the way. Like I'm
yeah,
like, okay, I feel something going on here. It's not what's comfortable for me. It's not what I'm used to. It's not what I've been saying I do.
yes.
But okay, Holy Spirit, like let's go with this. And if you're telling me, if you're giving me this, then I'm gonna trust it, right? And I know it's all gonna be fine. So yeah, and it's trusting that history. Like I
Yeah,
know I've been put in uncomfortable places before. And
yes,
if
yes,
God has led me there, then I know, okay, God, right? It's all you. It's
yes,
not me. And just the transparency and authenticity that I could have in that moment with her, like, okay, yes, this is a client, this is a service I um, charge for.
mhm, mhm,
I'm telling you, I've never done this
yeah,
before. I've not worked with a couple, but I'm telling you, and I did my research and I did, I do my due diligence
mhm, mhm,
so that I can serve with excellence. But we're on this journey together in a sense, right? And so they're excited about that as well. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I would say just
yes,
getting out of your way to answer the question.
yes, yes. I love it. Everybody's process is different, so you're sharing yours and it's occurred to somebody else.
Hmm.
Gotta get out your own way.
Yeah, I hope so.
Good, 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 good. Okay, so 2024 has come to an end. Let's talk about this 2025.
Yes, yes,
We do
yes. So
these
I'm
resolutions and things.
continuing.
What's
I'm
happening for
excited and
2025?
continuing. I'll still be doing courses. I'll still be helping authors. Um, I have 3 coming out. The one couple and another one. I do have opening for 4 more for 2025.
Yes.
So I'll put that out there, and lots of speaking engagements. Looking forward to. I'll be back at Ignite. I will be at the coming up
Mhm,
March, the 4th annual Women in Wellness Summit. That's
mhm,
Anderson Well Together. If you go to my my about highlight, you can register. So I'll be
okay.
speaking there and doing a breakout session, blossoming and blooming, the theme as we grow better together in wellness. So just be on the lookout for engagements, time to connect. And if you are, everyone has a story, but if you're ready to get the book that God has put on your heart out there, and write your story. And I tie that into well-being and purpose because it's our testimony, right? Essentially, it is our testimony. And so everybody can share the goodness of God. And that is to not just promote our story, but to tell and let somebody else know if he could do it for me, he could do it for you.
He could do it for me. He could do it for you. Now, question, because you said that we have some spaces available. What does that mean?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
You said you had some spaces available where you could take on some clients. What does that mean? What kind of clients should be reaching out?
Well, I'm not going to say women anymore. Anyway, but I will tell you what I usually attract is someone who's like my client Annette, right? 10 years. For me, it was 3 years. And then I wrote my book in 3 weeks. Like, you have a book. Like, God has already told you, it has been on your heart, and you've been procrastinating because either you're like, I'm not a writer, right? You're in your head about it. You're overthinking it. You make it harder than it has to be when, if you get the help, you get it done. And so you have it in you. You just need some help to do it. That's what I'm here for. And there is a therapeutic process to writing, which is how that ties into what I do in the space of well-being and purpose, your testimony. And so it's not just regurgitating your story, but it's revisiting. The program is to own your truth and embrace your narrative. And so we can get past the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, all the things that we tell ourselves or the enemy tells us about our past. It's not forgetting it. It's about using it to fuel your future and to help somebody else, because somebody's where you were and they need to know, like, how does it get better? How did you do it? And so ultimately, at the end of the day, is giving God the glory through what he's done through your life.
I like this. And I want to sit here for a second because as we are coming to the end of the year and we have some stories that we may want to write, we may want to share, that pain, that guilt, that trauma, all the different feelings that come with it, It's my favorite thing to talk about, that mental health, normalizing the importance of us addressing it, right? Because you can write this story, but you go to write and you feel like, oh, I thought I was over that. Oh, it still hurts a little bit.
Yes, that's what I share with my clients is okay. I expect that. We want to welcome that. I'm like, get your tissue ready, right? I have a client that is on pause because she's like, I need therapy. Like I unlocked some things I totally forgot about. Or blocked out, right? We know. And so I'm like, that's why we ride. We ride out. When you know it's time to come back around, and it will be, then we write through healing, right? So we definitely want to write from, and healing is continual. But from a space of healing. So this is not about writing a book to blame someone else, right? This is our story, and it's owning it to say good, bad, ugly, this is me, and this is what I was, this is who I am, this is who I'm becoming, and just really embracing it. It really is about, and you have the option, which is why I do the writing portion separate from the publishing. Although everybody who has written has published, you have the option. Really, I want you to write that thing out. I want you to get, as long as you go to therapy, you get a journal, right? I want you to write. I want you to heal. I want you to recognize and be aware and learn from your stories so that you can bless somebody else with it.
I like this. Let's talk about this journal piece, right? Because as we're coming to the end of the year, being able to write out what's going on for you, being able to get it out of your head, at least write it out and then like look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm feeling. As a kid growing up, writing it in a diary was like, oh, look at me with a diary. And you were hoping nobody saw that thing. Depending on what you wrote in there.
That little key that everybody had the same one, but
okay. However, there is freedom in unlocking those things that we had bound up because we forgot about it, or we tried to like keep it to the side, but then it comes back up. Because when we unlock it, we get to really process it through.
That's
how do I really feel about
freedom.
That freedom helps us to get in alignment because we feel like what's going on where I can't get it together. I gotta unlock some things.
Yes, and the freedom and the liberation is you. Not only can you not look in the mirror and hold it against yourself, the enemy can't hold it against you. Nobody else can hold. Like you got to own that. You got to say, I don't care that what you think like I'm telling it, and I'm telling it with a embracing. I'm counting it all joy at this point, right? So I'm revisiting that it wasn't joy at the time. How ugly it was, how painful it was, but it got me here. Right? God allowed it for a reason. And I can appreciate, even if it's hindsight, and what self-awareness will do. And as you're writing, you'll find that hindsight is almost it will transform into a mindfulness now, right? Like I don't want to, and I always, that was one of my goals. Like I want to get out of hindsight. Like hindsight's 2020. Like I want to be in the and not do the thing. Like like I don't want to have to always look back and be like, oh, I could have did that better.
Yeah.
Aware and mindful enough. And that's what writing and getting your story out and getting to know you, reading that thing back, and like you're like, wow, things you can't appreciate in the moment that you didn't appreciate will. And there are some things that there is no joy in it.
Yeah.
But you'll get to see how it worked for you, how it worked together for your good, right? Even though it was a horrible thing. And so it's just beauty. And like you said, freedom, that is one of my core values. And it's so liberating to, that's why I say, own your truth, right? Own your truth, and embrace it. Embrace all of you, right? That thank you letter to yourself. You're talking about the end of the year, like write a thank you letter to yourself. Maybe it's the you of 2024 that got you through to the end of it. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for enduring those hard times, for surviving that grief, or embracing it, meaning it's still going, right? You just have to wake up with it every day.
I like it.
So that thank you letter, and this is, I don't even know how I got here. I'm so sorry. It's not back to the question, but it's just something I'm going to share to do. Write a thank you letter to yourself.
Yes.
And thank you. And do that often so that you can appreciate where you are. And sometimes it's like, girl, okay, we're going to do this a little better next year, right? Tomorrow or next moment. Because I make a big component. I really advocate for resetting whenever. It doesn't have to be the year, right? Reset whenever you identify something that needs to be reset.
Yes. Everything happens for a reason. The thank you letter to yourself is so important. At the end of the year, I take a moment to like reflect on the year, highs, lows, in betweens, what the plan is for the next year, right? And another thing that you could do is take a jar as we prepare for the new year. And every time something amazing happens, put it in here. Because sometimes we forget. And even though I'm doing my recap, I'm like, dang, did I put that in a jar? Because it helps me to remember. We forget sometimes.
Yes. I have I have a jar that I read at the new year to look back. And it's like, wow, like you said, and it's I put the little things in, the movie date, like, oh, I'm a big fan of hot chocolate. I don't know, but like, wow, the hot chocolate from somewhere we went, like when I went to France, like they got real hot chocolate. Like they are literally melting the bar of chocolate. Like, but the little things, the big things, I love that. I'm glad that somebody else does it, right? I know it's a thing, but rarely do I meet somebody.
Yes. So again, friends, this is your homework. You go to the Dollar Tree. You can get yourself a jar. Go to the Dollar Tree aisle, the $1.25, right? I don't want to make you feel like this is a burden. $1.25. You go when you get the jar. You go to the school aisle and you get like little notepad, $1.25. So this is $2.50 plus a little text that you're speaking. Now, if you use more papers than what's in that notepad, 1, you're blessed.
Yes, hallelujah. Woo, right.
2, go buy another one because you're gonna need it to make sure you fill it up for the year. And what you do is you just write down the highlight of the day. You can do it every day, do 365. But then guess what? It might be a couple in each day, but you're doing it to help you to remember to be thankful for yourself and how you have survived, how you persevered, how you have been resilient, the things that should have took you out. So I'm excited because when you're trying to get your piece of happy, a jar of piece of happy.
Yes, gratitude is such a powerful tool.
Yes. So what are some words of wisdom you would give to some others that are looking into going into the entrepreneurial field?
To trust your journey, trust the plans that God has for you. Move out of your way, because we come up with all the, especially creatives, all the ideas and all the things, but know that it's not just about you. So you may have a good idea, but you want God's purpose to prevail. So I would say trust the plans that He has for you. Don't compare, don't compete. We're all about community. What's for you, right, is for you. I truly believe that. So you're not missing anything as long as it takes you. Just trust your journey. Don't compare it to anybody else's. And the blueprint ultimately is going to be unique to you. So there's a lot of, the blueprint or the formula or the secret sauce. God has a plan just for you, and yours might look different. So while somebody is baking their $1 million cake, that's their cake. He wants you to make brownies. So be careful, not to just get caught up in like, okay, my cake isn't turning out so well. And then, you're looking for your well done. And he's like, well, actually, you were supposed to do brownies. So you're like, right. So like, trust your journey and what God has given you, and it will come to pass. So just stay in tune and know that it's not about you solely. You're equipped to serve others. And so serve out of joy, serve out of overflow. That's why I prioritize well-being, right? And give out of abundance. It comes back.
Your blueprint is unique to you.
It is.
And we got to remember that, because, we'll get caught up in social media and we're seeing how it's working out for other people. I'm like, it's not working that way for me.
Right. And then you get discouraged, and then and it's like, that's not anything close to what. Yeah. And I don't mind waiting. I recently did a reel about the hallway. I don't mind waiting if I know what's coming is God sent. Like he's preparing me. He's teaching me. I'm learning through this process. So don't be afraid of waiting. Don't be afraid of the delay, right? Like they say delayed but not denied, right? Like embrace that, because there's so much growth and preparation that can take place in that space. So don't be afraid of it. And it's inevitable in entrepreneurship. So embrace it and look for like, okay, what am I supposed to be getting out of this, and growing, and learning, and what can I gain during this time?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So good. I can't wait to watch this again, because today was just for me. Thank you very much for tuning in to my couch talks. I love it. My last question, two questions. First one is shameless plug. How has your experience been working with SWAGHer magazine? It's the end of the year. We're making sure we're doing good. How has your experience been with us?
I love it. I love the community, right? I'm big on my business models. We grow better together. I love the space that you hold. I love that it's genuine. I'm professional. I never feel pushed. I just feel welcomed. It just feels like I always feel welcomed. Like I said, professional community. I'm big on community. So I love that you hold space for building, for sharing, the outlet, right, to exposure, how we can learn from each other, because I want to watch it to see the other women that spoke, right? So I would say it's been phenomenal. I know nothing but love.
Awesome. We thank you. We thank you again for being open to our services and like sharing with us and coming to let us know how things are going for you. My last question is, what is something that you want us to walk with? I know we've talked about a lot of things, but as we come to the end of the year, this is now your time to get on the soapbox, to cry loud, spare not, to let us know alignment, whatever it is, whatever we need to do to help encourage us as we close out this year and walk into 2025.
You said soapbox, and this was on my heart earlier. I was actually like on a soapbox about it in my head, not to anyone. So I'm going to use this space if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And I've seen at least 2 content creators share on the same theme that I want to give a different perspective on. And it was this idea of equal reciprocity. And it was getting all the oohs and ahs, and that's right. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't think that that's realistic. I don't think that that should be our expectation, because in relationships, and again, we're here to serve each other, it's not always going to be equal reciprocity. And we shouldn't show up with this mind, nothing against the content creators, a different perspective. Like I said, I feel that we shouldn't show up like, if you can't give equally, then like we don't have a relationship. That's not, even as I think about like my husband in a marital situation, but it applies across the board. If I don't want to be expected to be 100 all the time, because that's not realistic. I'm not going to be 100% all the time. When I'm 90, I need you to be 110, right? Like that's just how that works, and that's okay. And when you 80, I can be like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect my bestie had a baby late in the game. Right? Another one. And it was like, oh, wow. Okay. He's 11. My youngest is, like I said, just went to college, 18. So when I'm like, hey, you want to do this? She's at football games and stuff. That's fine. I'm not going to hold it against her that she's in a different place. So like, oh, now you can't hang out with me. Like that's unrealistic to expect that. And I'm definitely not going to cut my best friend since 9 years old out because we're at different places in our life. So I would encourage people to be open to a different perspective, open in their relationships, to give where you can. If you're in a position and blessed to serve out of overflow, then serve out of overflow. There's somebody that's like, I can barely get my cup full. Why would you not serve them if you have this overflow, right? That can help. So build your relationships on love, I guess. And love
Yeah.
isn't a like, you got to give to me, so then I'm going to give to you, right? So as you go into this new year, I would encourage you to serve out of love and how you want to be loved. And sometimes you're going to be off, and sometimes you're going to fall short. And I would hope that you just wouldn't get cut off from the people were your friends, right? Because you couldn't show up equal that day.
I love it. I love it.
That's
Timely
my
words. Timely words for as we close out the year, because like you know, you take a moment to like reflect on relationships and you're like, oh, they da. We also don't always get back from that person.
right.
It might come from somebody else. So if you're just giving out of love, then it's not you keeping tabs of, well, I did X, Y, and Z on January 1st, February 28th. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Just do it out of love. It makes you feel better when you do it out of love, because it's nothing.
Absolutely.
I'm just doing it to be doing it. And when it comes back to you, you're like,
Yeah.
look out for me. There's some
I'm
times that,
okay with being the friend that I only check in on that person. Like that person never texts to check in on me. If that person's on my heart, I'm gonna text them and check in on them.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh well, I did it the last time. So you just gotta sit there. Like that takes so much energy, first of all, to keep tallies.
Yeah.
And so and it comes back. There are other people that check in on me. I'm loved.
Yeah. And that's a hard lesson to learn sometimes, because you feel like I'm always checking in. And I had to learn that recently. I had to remind myself that it doesn't stop you from being you. If the person's on your mind, you reach out, because you never know what you're doing to help them.
Yeah.
You know? And it's also helping you. So just reach out, do it in love. Do it in love.
Yeah.
I love it. I thank you so much for joining us today. Everybody has been amazing. And may you have a great holiday season.
Yes, you too. You too. Stay well, stay safe, stay blessed.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, friends, I do thank you so much for joining us today for What's Going On, where we found out what's going on. Shout out to Miss Rita for sharing about just being yourself, sharing about her man has grown up, where she was able to go to Jennifer Hudson's show, be on Essence, so many amazing things. Her lingerie line, her book, you guys go and check it out. Then we had the actor, producer, Cherrie McRae, doing bigger roles, going to the box office. Y'all check her out too, doing amazing things. And lastly, we had Jamie talking about alignment, as she's a writing coach. She talked about how she initially put herself in a box. Friends, don't put yourself in a box. Whatever it is that you dream and aspire to do, connect with those that can help you to do it. Everybody's blueprint is different. It's unique to you, but trust your journey. Lastly, don't forget your homework. You're going out to the Dollar Tree and get yourself a jar and get yourself a notepad, so that every year, every day of 2025, whatever that happens that encourages and inspires you, you can write a little note of remembrance to put into your jar, so that on December 31st, 2025, you can reflect on just how amazing your year has been. We thank you again so much for joining us on today. May you have an amazing holiday. Until next time, bye-bye.